Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Robinson's Galleria is the newest large mall here in Cebu City, the Philippines, and it is located quite close to SM Mall, and it's between SM Mall, Cebu City, and the downtown Cologne Street area in Cebu City. Not so far from the piers, Pier 1 in particular, where many of the ferries come in and leave from. It's got a nice, open, and clean atmosphere. It has many restaurants throughout the mall, and then you've got a food court, and I'm pretty sure this was up on the very top level. Quite a large food court area, lots of seating areas as well. Thank you, Robinsons, for putting in many restrooms and marking them well. And of course they have movie theaters as well. Most malls here have hardware stores as well as grocery stores, and most Filipinos want to be in the picture. All right. And there's the head man right here. These large malls and shopping centers, department stores have a pretty impressive supply of appliances, televisions, sound systems, laundry equipment, stoves, microwaves, blenders, water filtration equipment, refrigerators, air conditioners, all that type of thing. And many of the brands you will probably be familiar with. Likewise, many of the brands you may not be familiar with. Some of these stoves come out of Germany, some out of other Asian countries, and many name brands on the refrigerators. Lots of different sizes to choose from. One thing I find here, a lot of these refrigerators are not frostless. You have to manually defrost them. So if you're buying one, be aware of that. In 1 week you will be famous. I will have it up. Amazing Philippines. Okay. Most Filipinos are happy and friendly and love to be on camera. Not always, so sometimes it's important to ask. On a rare occasion, somebody will approach me when I'm filming in an area in a store and wondering why I'm doing it, and occasionally they might even ask that you don't film. Here's a wall with air conditioner units from very large standalone units. 108,000 pesos to the split type units, and a split type unit with an inverter generally is more efficient than just the window types. And there's no shortage of clothing stores. Some stores you'll find that each brand has its own salesman, and if you're looking at a different brand, they don't want you to go to the next aisle. Also, you want to try on most clothes before you purchase. Sizes are different here. True Value has a huge new store here, and you should be able to find most of the hardware type items that you need in here. In addition, they've got supply of certain types of kitchen type stuff and a lot of miscellaneous items. One thing I was looking for, they do have welding equipment. I was looking for welding flux. I have read that you can use that as a ant and roach killer, and I believe it's because there's boric acid involved in that. I'm not absolutely positive, but I did find boric acid, and it was labeled as a ant and roach killer. and I've been using that, and I bought a fairly large container, I think for about 400 pesos, about $8 US, maybe a quart size or so. And I have given some of that away to other people, and they say that it's worked well for them as well. I've been told that if I want to find welding flux, I will probably have to go to the welding supply houses directly. But here they have auto supplies, just about everything you would expect to see in a True Value in the USA. I'm not sure, is True Value worldwide? Is it in Australia? Are they in Europe as well? I suspect so, being they're here in the Philippines. One thing I have found, Ace Hardware is another one here in Cebu City area you'll find. And I've found that when I've gone out to purchase single screws or single bolts, that type of thing, that the cost per unit seems to be extremely high. And not quite sure why that is, but I know I paid an enormous amount just for a few screws. There you have your hot water units there, all your plumbing supplies. I bought one of these chrome 5-shelf units when I first got here for about 7,000 pesos, or about 120 US, more expensive than what you would find in the USA, I believe. Stanley is one of the names that some of you would be familiar with. See a lot of their products here, and a lot of other names that I don't recognize, private label type stuff coming out of China, nearly all of it. They have generators and Dremel tools. That would be kind of a nice little toy. I had one in the US. I kind of miss not having that around. Do all sorts of little things with that thing, and lots of different types of power tools, obviously, tables, chairs, and the list goes on and on. A wagon, one of those things you don't see often here. And yes, Toys R Us is here. And I thought I had read they were going through another bankruptcy. They did that a number of years ago, I think. And I don't know how that's going to affect the chains out here in the Philippines. The grocery stores in the Philippines, having them in the malls is very convenient oftentimes. And this store is very clean, laid out very well, wide aisles. Had a very good selection of different types of items. I did not do price checking, but they would have to be pretty competitive with the competition here in town, I'm sure. They have a number of different bulk items. Dried fish there, I think. 120 pesos per kilogram for jasmine rice. That's about what I pay for my black rice that I prefer. Black, red, and brown, black in particular, and red are much more nutritious, I think. Filipinos and many Asians eat a lot of rice, and I eat a little bit. I usually mix it half and half with beans as well, and that just kind of gives it a different taste. I use different types of flavoring, and there's the black organic rice that I usually get. I try to buy Philippine products whenever I can. Sometimes that's difficult. Now here the eggs are local and Filipino. They very seldom, in fact I don't think I've ever seen eggs refrigerated in the Philippines. And I don't think they wash them either. If you wash them, the life expectancy decreases substantially, is my understanding. And the meat department here was pretty good. One nice thing, I did not smell the fish smell when I went into the fish department. So that's a good sign that it's fresh and being kept at the proper temperatures. The last two times I bought ground beef, not at Robinson's, but a couple of other supermarkets here in the Philippines. The first one was I had too much gristle and or bone in it. I kept biting into little pieces of hard things, and the second time it it didn't look quite right. It didn't smell bad, but it didn't really smell like hamburger, and it didn't taste like hamburger that I'm used to using. And I cooked it up and I ate it. I put it in different dishes. I didn't get sick. I don't think it was bad. I'm just not sure what kind of cow that it came out of. Anyway, I think I've decided just to get all my hamburger type meats from S&R, a Costco type store here in the Philippines from now on. Buy it either US or Australian, New Zealand type meats. It's good to see all of these cashier lanes. Now, if they utilize and manage the staff so they have the staff take care of the customers, that'll be great. One thing you'll get used to in the Philippines, you'll have to, is long lines sometimes on busy nights. Brick is a restaurant that I enjoy and I would recommend. They have one in Ayala Mall up on the upper floors outside, and then also at IT Park, I believe. Thank you for coming along. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Safe travels to you.